look, they go, oh my God, it's a half hour away. Hey, Fish, guess what? We are live 2 hours earlier thanks to Omicron and the NFL rescheduling. So, folks, stay with us here. Then you can watch those two NFL games tonight because we have another great hour-long show for you right now. Yes, we will talk COVID and football, but this show is no downer. We have three of the funniest guys around, Scott Henry, Brad Grunberg, and Tony Visick, who will give us holiday laughs to get you ready for Christmas. Plus, our schmuck of the week needs a wardrobe check, and who's got the swag pooped her wardrobe in a gutty performance? John Hardison, our expert on the Daly Fish Hardline, has this week's big bets that you should make. We're also going to grind on Tiger and his 12-year-old phenom son, Charlie. Plus, we wonder, which way is the UFC going to go? So get ready to think and laugh out loud. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Daly Fish. John Daly here with Eric Snyder, a.k.a. Fish. We are coast to coast, coming to you from Las Vegas and Myrtle Beach. We talk sports, entertainment, and everything in between. Fish, this one's going to be through the roof, buddy.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait. These guys are alumni of the show, and I was laughing days later. I've known Tony for years, and we meet Scott, and I'm peeing my pants. It was fantastic. And we're doing Fox. Fox asked us. We're doing a favor. Got Philadelphia. We watch a show, then we got Philadelphia and Washington football team. We got the Seahawks and the Rams, kind of a dual matchup on a rare Tuesday in the NFL.
Absolutely. All right, it's time for the daily grind. Here's what we're grinding on first. Omicron takes the lead in all sports. The NHL just announced it is pulling out of the Beijing Olympics. Earlier in the day, the league announced a shutdown until Christmas Day Saturday. Now, this was not said, but Fish, you had an interesting take on this.
I think the NHL is doing it because they have so many postponements right now. It's an easy way to get those postponed games played during the 3 weeks they would have sent their players over to the Olympics. It's very, 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 very convenient.
Not been said, but you know what? Makes a ton of sense. We'll be watching it, that's for sure. All right. And hey, the NBA expects some of their traditional Christmas Day games to be postponed, with the games not postponed to be played at different times to please that ABC TV lineup. We've done the same here. We're moving our show up 2 hours for tonight's rescheduled game. So, Fish, this breakout was predicted to holiday crowds, holiday travel that was happening, and it should cause havoc, according to most experts, into January and February. But my take here is we should see things straighten out quicker than before. What do you see?
Everyone calm the F down. We had 250,000 cases a week this very week last year. NFL kept going, kept postponing games. There's millions of people vaccinated. Nothing's going to happen. What concerns me is we have friends at the CDC and the World Health Organization, and the next variant. Isn't it amazing how all these variants are named after fraternities? Delta, Omicron. The next one, which is Alpha, Tau, Omega. Yeah. If you get it, if you're a guy, this is the symptoms. What's going to happen to you? Okay? That's you. Okay. If you're a woman and you get the symptoms, forget the cough and the sneezing and lose the taste. This is what you look like. This is the next one. So I'm more worried about what's going to happen in the future. Right now, I think it's business's plan. It's going to be, what do I always say? It's always capitalism over lives, and we'll move on and we'll do well.
You know, when you showed me those two things, I'm glad that the only after effect I got from the Pfizer vaccine was the fact that my pee was silent. So I'm glad to have gone through that. Yeah.
See, this right here, this is Tony Visick's first wife. And want to be on the show again?
All right, let's move on. Next. Tiger and Charlie crush it at the PNC. In fact, one scribe wrote that PNC now means player named Charlie, even though they lost to John Daly and John Daly 2, none of which were me. Now, we are still waiting for official TV ratings, but all indications, those ratings were great. Tiger's hold on golf ratings is still crazy, Fish. Does this ever change?
Look at this. They're gorgeous people. Look at the son. He looks like if you ever did that, what was that Brooke Shields movie with Atkins when they're on the Blue Lagoon? That's the sequel right there. That's a kid. All right. No, what concerns me, and I've always said this to you, you're a big, big golf aficionado. And I always said that when Tiger makes the cut in any tournament, the ratings are up 62%. Yep. When is golf going to get a personality that's going to take over? Football, all other sports. We go from, Michael Jordan to Kobe, the Shaq, and now you have LeBron. Football, we got Brady right now. Golf hasn't gotten that personality yet. And that concerns me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Tiger and Charlie with Hardison on the hard line. That's coming up in a little bit. All right, next, the UFC is blowing up again. People are watching and they're waiting for these upcoming steel cage matches. Fish, you buying this, or is the UFC going to fade like arena football?
I'm buying it. If I was to tell you that Conor McGregor makes $180 million a year, he's the richest athlete there is, makes more than Ronaldo. We talk about Mahomes making $45 million or LeBron $50. $180 million a year. You know, he's a midget that walks around holding Irish whiskey. That's it. He can't even win any matches anymore. And Amanda Nunes, the women boxer, big money. Ronda Rousey, when she fought, big money. People are buying it, okay? We're a violent society. Football's a violent sport. We gravitate towards it. I'm buying it. I think it's going to drown boxing out in the next 10 years. I really do.
I agree with you 100%. All right. And finally on the grind, the NFL is even crazier this past week. It's invading our weekdays now. Again, we are live early for the upcoming rescheduled games tonight, but the Washington football team is at Philadelphia and the Seahawks are at the Rams. Last night, 2 games. The Vikings beat the Bears. But the Raiders edged the Browns. Now, we hate to talk moral victories here, but the Browns, they deserve something for that gutty performance last night. Wouldn't you say, Fish?
You know, I developed a relationship from Tony, and we're really good friends. We bartended together in 1982. But we were lucky. The year we started bartending, the Raiders moved to Los Angeles. And Tony and I went to a hell of a lot of Raider games and walked out of the Coliseum happy almost all the time. The Raiders won last night, and I'm pissed off at Raider fans, all right? Because they're pissed off because they didn't play well. Never get pissed off at a victory. And for the Browns, I'll tell you what, man. The Browns, not was it gutsy, it was all heart. But this has been my football season all year. This is me. Okay? That's me. I'm in the same underwear. That's how I react to these games nowadays. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not. I mean, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, someone just texted, he wears underwear? All right. Anyway, let's move on to our bets, especially after that picture. Oh my God. All right. Last week we both finished 2-2. We're still waiting though on the Seahawks Rams game, with me going Rams and Fish, you're going with the Seahawks. So let us give you guys this week's upcoming picks, also known as the picks to avoid until you hear from Hardline in a few minutes. All right. First, 49ers at the Titans. Fish, I'm going to go Titans. They cannot be that bad 2 games in a row. Who do you have?
Well, I like what you said, Seahawks. That's a great name. The Seahawks.
Isn't that a good one? I like that. Yeah.
I'm going with the 49ers. I love what Jimmy G. No one's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Quietly, he's had a great 5-game run, and he is not making any mistakes. And he's keeping rookie Trey Lance off the field, the 3rd pick in the draft. 49ers for me, baby.
All right. Next, the escalator game, as I call it. One team going up, the other team going down. Colts at Cardinals. Go, Fish.
I'm going with the Colts. Colts are hot. I'm watching them right now on HBO. They're having Hard Knocks in season. That team's dialed in. Jonathan Taylor, their running back, he's going to get a lot of strong votes for MVP. He's got 17 touchdowns and 1,500 yards, and there's not even – I mean, if Derrick Henry was healthy, he would chase him, but this kid's unbelievable. Yeah,
I agree with you. I'm going Colts too. I'm still not crazy about Carson Wentz, but I think the Colts D is hitting a stride. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have become the Coyotes and the D-backs. I think they are sliding bad. What is wrong with the Phoenix area, Fish?
Nothing's wrong with the Phoenix area. It's great. They have great comedy clubs. They have a great comedy school in the Phoenix area. Nothing.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I think the Cardinals will get it right. I'm a big Kyler Murray guy. I don't know. You know, the Suns, the Suns are playing great. You've got the Phoenix Suns. They're terrific. So
that's true. No, right.
Fine.
The Suns have, yeah. It was just I wanted to take a cheap shot at the D-backs and the Coyotes, so I did that. All right. Rams at Vikings. Fish, I can't figure out either one of these two teams, so I'm going to flip a coin, and I'm going to say Rams.
I don't like you because you're too good-looking for your age. I don't like you. You know, you're a schmuck and an idiot, so I'm going to go with the Vikings. I love you. Now, I like the Vikings. I think if Kirk Cousins can keep the mistakes to a minimal and Dalvin Cook stays healthy, they'll make a run at the playoffs in the next 3 weeks.
I agree. They're so tight. The parity is just unbelievable in the league. All right, Bills at Patriots. This should be different than the last time because the weather will probably be a little different. Fish, go for it.
I'm going with the Bills. Desperate. Josh Allen's a better quarterback right now than Mac Jones, and the defense is a little bit even. I think we're going to see it's crunch time right now, and Mac Jones is a rookie. He's played in big games. He's played at Alabama, which is the biggest stage there is in college football, but I'm still going with the Bills.
I think it's a good pick, but I'm going to go Patriots. I think that they actually bounce back. And finally, 2 7-7 teams on Monday night, the Dolphins at the Saints. Fish, I think the Saints showed something last week, so I'm going to go Saints.
Can't look at that face. I'm going with the Dolphins. Why not? Tua had the best angry run according to NFL Network. He bowled over 2 guys. I'm sold. I wish I had a video of that play. I would show it, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Okay. All right. And there they are coming up in a few minutes. Our expert, John Hardison, on the Daly Fish Hardline for some really good picks. All right, folks, questions or comments during the live show, use the chat box here or email us at dalyfish1, the number 1 at gmail.com. You can post to Facebook at daily.fish.5. Better yet, record yourself short, tight, and horizontal on your smartphone and send it to us at dalyfish1 at gmail.com. All right, it's time for some binge watch and book. Fish, go for it.
I'm watching something on Netflix. I watched it. It's called True Story. I love it. We had Richard Kind on last week. I love it when comedic actors or comedians play serious roles. They always knock it out of the park. We've seen it with Steve Carell, Robin Williams. We've seen it now with Will Ferrell in The Shrink Next Door. Kevin Hart plays the number 1 actor and comedian in the world. He just got done doing a movie that made $1 billion. And he's in Philadelphia doing a concert tour. And he meets up with his brother, and his brother gets him in some really hairy stuff. I binge watched the entire thing in one day. That's all I have to say.
Cool. All right. Hey, I'm booking it, Fish. It's a new book called We the People Are the Problem. It's by Peter Magistrale. He ran for office in New York State and he lost. He examined everything and he laid it out in the book. It is a great read because he cuts through the nonsense on the left and the right. It is a good wake-up call for Americans. He also has an interesting opinion on sports and its effect on the country. It's a very interesting read. And Fish, we're going to try to get him on the show at some point. And there we go. That is the binge watch and book. All right, now something's fishy. Fish, let me ask you this. Which big-time athlete do I remind you of?
Let's go to the video. This is you, actually. Watch this video.
You guys. Good. Where is the course etiquette? Where's the course etiquette? Hey. Come on. Where is the golf course etiquette? Hey, come on. Rack it up. Hey, seal it up.
That is, I love that. Where's the course etiquette? There's a full-scale brawl going on.
Bob, it's a real shame because other than that, the Weston member guest was a great time. I'm just kidding.
Commentary. I recently played in a pickup basketball game at my age at the YMCA. I am tired of people on the golf course. I'm really freaking pissed off at people on a basketball court that think they're LeBron James, Michael Jordan, or in your case, when you're playing golf, not you particular, they think they're Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy. Okay, it's just a game. Have fun. Nothing takes the fun out of it when you have guys that take it too seriously. Okay, so I go back to the analogy of when you have a kid and you take a little league game and the coaches and the parents are going at it. I can't stand it. All right, there has to be the word fun when you play these games. I'm 61 years old and I'm playing with guys. And they're arguing foul. They want to fist fight each other. I'm on a golf course, and guys are throwing their clubs and taking the fun away from it. Stop. There's a reason why that the pros get paid and we watch them because they're better than you. Okay, you're doing it for fun. I've had it. Then analogy. I've had it with actors. I'm not going to mention the actors' names, but there's a certain actor out there that might be a star. Maybe his name is Sean Penn. That said that. We compare ourselves to athletes in what we do. No. Peyton Manning said, when I'm on the field and I throw an interception, the directors and officials and say, cut, let's do it again. Yeah. Unless you're in a play, and Tony's been in a lot of plays where he's terrific in, he can tell you this, that's live, baby. You're on Broadway, you're in a play, fine. You mess up, well, we all see it, and great. But when these actors that sit in their trailers all day and they say line and Mr. Cut, no. When you're a professional athlete, that's live, okay? Enjoy when you're playing on the field with your friends, or you're on the golf course or basketball games. Have fun, and then watch these guys and realize the pros that what they do, that's live. When they mess up, it's live. Never. I don't want to hear anyone compare actors, all right, to athletes. When a comedian's on stage, an hour and a half, he messes up. He messes up. He's getting heckled, all right? A comedian doesn't say, cut. Oh, let me go take a 5-minute break. I forgot my lines. No, all right? So have fun on the basketball court, like I just said, and enjoy what's live in your life.
So do you think do I remind you of any professional? And never mind, I'm not going to ask you that again. Okay. All right. Still ahead. Our schmuck of the week. It might be me. Actually, it's a former NFL quarterback, along with Who's Got the Swag is a pooping machine. You're going to love this one. All right. Time for the Daly Fish Hardlines. Joining us now is John Hardison from the podcast Cost of Winning, focusing on fantasy sports and sports betting. Hardline, welcome back, buddy. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so here we go. First, the NFL. The Bucs are 11-point favorites over the Panthers in Charlotte. Who are you picking?
So for this game, after watching what happened on Sunday Night Football and watching the way Brady is, I'm just going to be very honest. I'm taking the Bucs plus 11. I've seen that look in Tom Brady's eyes. That's the eyesight of a man that's a mercenary. Guarantee you he's going to stop a mud hole in the Carolina Panthers' ass this weekend. That man is going to run up the score. You could take that plus 11.
It's funny. I'm going to say it. Dennis Allen was trash talking him. He walks up to him and says, "Fuck you," and Dennis Allen walked away. I mean, it was interim coach of the Saints last week. Great job by Dennis Allen. All right, Chargers 9.5 over the Texans in Houston. Give it to me.
You got to take the Chargers in this one. They've been playing really well as of late, especially that last Thursday Night Football. It was a little bit of a sleeper at the first part, but it definitely got going in the second half. I love what they're doing over there. I love the way that they're using Eckler, the way that they're using Keenan Allen, letting him go. Even though that was a controversial call, I thought it was a little pass interference at the end that could have changed the tide in that game. But I definitely got to take the Chargers in this game. All
right, Washington plays tonight, but on Sunday, they're right now a 10-point dog to the Cowboys, and that spread has jumped around to as low as 8. What are you saying on this one?
I like Washington in this game. The Cowboys have not been the same Cowboys on offense the second half of the season that we saw in the first half. I don't know if there's something going on with Dak's ankle. He refuses to run as much as he used to. And, Ezekiel Elliott isn't playing as much as he was compared to Tony Pollard. I like Washington. Their defense has definitely come on. The only question I have about Washington is who's quarterbacking. If they could get Heineke back, definitely I like Washington on the points.
All right. We're in bowl mania right now. We had bowl games since last Monday, and it's going to go until the first of the year. The Nevada Wolfpack plays Western Michigan in the Quick Lane Bowl.
So, they both have very good quarterbacks. I'm going with Nevada plus 7 on this one. I really like Carson Strong. I mean, he's number 6 in passing yards, 7th in completion percentage, and 3rd in attempts. I like what they're doing in Nevada. I think it's going to be a shootout. I really like Nevada plus 7 in this game.
All right, this should be called the Florida Bowl, but it's the Gasparilla Bowl. It's Central Florida plays Florida, and the Gators are 7-point favorites. Who are you going with?
You know what? I actually like UCF plus 7 in this game. Florida's got a lot of questions. They don't even have really a head coach right now. They got an intern head coach. A lot of losses they took down the stretch, tried to make it back. But there's something about UCF. They always come in as an underdog in bowl season and perform extremely well. And so, they're in Florida, it's bragging rights. I got to take UCF plus 7 in this one. I just don't. There's too many question marks out there for Florida right now.
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. That's a great name. Minnesota 4 points over West Virginia.
So in this game, I like Minnesota on the money line. I think it's going to be a close game. Both have very good. West Virginia has a very good quarterback, but I love PJ Fleck. I love what he's done with this program. I love how he's been able to turn it around. That defense is strong. I think the Big Ten is bigger than the Big 12. And the biggest thing about it is that they don't get enough talk about is Minnesota was in contention to possibly make that Big Ten championship game. They just slid under the radar. They just happened to lose that last one out of seeding. But I love what Minnesota's done. I got to ride with Minnesota on this game. I just think that they're the superior team in this one.
All right. You know the Big Ten, that's for sure. All right, Hardline. There's talk that Tiger may actually make a comeback at the British Open at St. Andrews in July. And then I read this thing about a prop bet. I think it's a little bit more of a joke, but it might not be. Who will win their next major? Will it be Tiger or his 12-year-old son, Charlie? Now, one, would you bet Tiger that he'll play? And also, would you take that prop bet and would you take Charlie?
I'll bet Tiger that he plays. He's too much of a competitor. He's too much of a warrior just to back down from any competition. But I actually like Charlie. You know, he's a young guy. He's got a lot of upside to him, a lot less surgeries, a lot less back issues and knees. So, you know, I'm taking a younger body. But you know why they lost to the Dalys, right? Daly, you know, all that cigarette smoke and brandy all around, you know, caused them to be able to miss some holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? All that brandy and cigarette smoke had John Daly, this one, miss a lot of holes when he was younger. You know, if you were his wingman, you scored. Trust me.
I tell you, Hardison, I got to agree with you. I think Tiger will play. I like the way he was coming back. I just don't see him being able to walk 4 rounds, especially like at Augusta. If you've ever played Augusta, Augusta is hilly. It doesn't look like it on TV. It is a lot of up and down that you've got to walk, and it's high hills there. I just don't think he can do it. Granted, Ben Hogan did it back in the 50s after a really bad car crash, but who really knows? But I would take the Charlie bet. I really would too, as well. Cool. All right. And that is the Daily Fish Hardline with John Hardison, the Cost of Winning podcast. He's on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcast as well. You can find him here every week with us. Hardline, thanks a lot, buddy. See you next week.
See you next week, guys. Take care.
John, yeah, you too, man. I'm saying Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Absolutely.
You and your great wife. Come on by the bar. I'll buy you some food.
I got you.
Hey, you'll never miss a meal. See you later, buddy.
Never have.
And folks, thank you for tuning in. Daily Fish is live on Facebook at daily.fish.5. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, except for tonight. We air on DB&A Television on Roku and Amazon Fire, plus the Myrtle Beach Golf Channel on Facebook. You can also subscribe to the Daily Fish podcast on YouTube. All right, now it is time for our Schmuck of the Week. Who's been schmucky this week, Fish?
Oh, God. You know what? This goes out to, I don't know if it's this guy or it's his wardrobe. And you know a lot about wardrobe, John. Who wore this better? Look at that. That's Kurt Warner. All right. Now, look, he looks like he's ready to go into orbit. He's doing the Cleveland Brown Raider game last night, and Twitter can't get enough of it. He's taking so much crap. It's amazing. The Hall of Fame quarterback's looking extra warm in the booth, but as soon as he showed up on TV, viewers flocked to social media to get their jokes off. Listen to this quote. Kurt Warner looks like he's about to land on the moon, one user wrote, while another compared him to, quote, a baked potato wrapped in tinfoil. You know, and I just said, hey, you know what? I got a better angle on it. Forget the Hershey's Kiss. He looks good in silver and black, baby. Raider Nation.
Yeah. I like it. I like what you're saying. That's true. So
that's my take.
I think the schmuck's got to be his wardrobe guy, because
him.
I'd be wearing that because I'd be pretty cold too if I was up in Cleveland right now.
Right.
All right. Let's see who's got swag this week. Who are we toasting, Fish?
All right. Well, you know, you hate to see pretty women go through this. We do all the time. If I can make this with a straight face, I'll be. Wow. This is Tamara Torkson. Okay, I think I got her name right. Tamara Torkson. She thought she was setting a personal record when she was running the marathon in Ojai, California, but she had a poop halfway through the run, and she pooped her pants. And she made the entire run while she pooped her pants, all right? And she's a gorgeous woman, and she models on the side. And I'm just thinking to myself, anyone who could sew her shorts and get away with it like that, they have swag, in my opinion, you know, because she finishes, all the people come with the microphone. They say, that's not regular body odor, honey. What is that? They see what's running down her leg. To me, that is huge, huge props. I'm sorry. You go, girl.
Actually, I agree with you. You know, that is not uncommon for long distance runners. And what was actually really cool about the story was the fact that some of her friends who were there saw what was happening, and they actually helped her as she crossed the finish line, wrapped her up so that she wouldn't be embarrassed. And they actually got her back to the hotel room so she could clean up. So I think some swag goes to her friends as well.
Oh,
so Fish,
You know, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to excellence. You know, the Raiders are watching us right now. Just win, baby. And she did whatever she could. And hey, come on, man. That's going to be tough on anyone. I'm sorry. Swag.
I agree. And now we're going to toast Tamara with our drink of the week. Fish, you chose a classic tonight.
It's Christmas time. It's Christmas. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, hot toddies. I don't care who you are with this thing. All right. Yeah. Little brandy, little hot water. Right. Okay. I do a little amaretto in there with a dash of cinnamon. It's a great holiday drink when it's cold outside. It's probably getting cold in the Carolinas right now, right?
It is cold now. I got my turtleneck on. I had to actually have you sweater on before. So, yeah, it's there. So that is a perfect drink, not only for the winter, but also for the holiday season coming up. Hey, folks, the Daly Fish Drink of the Week is sponsored by Shucks Tavern in Vegas. Great seafood and drinks in 2 locations. Head to Shucks Tavern on North Durango on the northwest side of town, where fish is overnight. Say Daly Fish Podcast. You get a free drink. Do it the next day, a free appetizer. That's Shucks Tavern. Check out Shucks Tavern on Facebook. All right, folks, we're just getting started. Up next, we gab with our comedians of Christmas, Scott Henry, Tony Visick, and Brad Grunberg. But first, let's tell you about MedSonics. Heading to Vegas, first place to stop is MedSonics. This sound wave technology relieves pain, inflammation, and even jet lag. It is non-invasive. You sit there for 25 minutes and you relax. The technology will soon be all over the country as well. Go to medsonics.com, spelled MEDSONIX. medsonics.com. Al is the owner inventor. Tell him Daly Fish sent you. All right, let's bring on our guest. First, do we have them all? Is everybody here, Fish? They're all here. Oh my God, look at this. First, actor and stand-up comic Brad Grunberg with more than 100 films and TV shows. Some of those shows include Two Broke Girls and Curb Your Enthusiasm. There we go. And stand-up comic Scott Henry, who is also on the Comedy Lounge app, which will launch next month, and stand-up comic Tony Visick, who also runs comedyschools.com. Guys, welcome back.
Thanks.
Hey, how's it going?
Loving it. You guys, that was a lot of stuff you covered right there. I had so much to say, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why you had me muted out at that time. You're like, just shut this fucker down. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we just invited him to be nice. We lost a bet, and that's just how it is.
Can we?
Well, I just thought about something, gentlemen, and welcome to all you guys. Happy holidays and much success and health to your families. Now, a lot of you, Tony especially, I've watched his career and I've met you, Scott. I know Brad for years. Have you ever had to take a crap or go to the bathroom when you're on stage? I mean, I watched Bill Burr the other night do a thing on Netflix, and you could tell he had to take a leak. And it was hurting. He's doing things you do. Tell me, have you ever had that experience?
I've dropped the boys now. I've dropped the boys off in the pool, but not my pants one time.
Yes.
And by the way, Tony, Scott, why are we doing this show? You know our careers are going to be in the dumper. Get it? Dumper. Poop.
Hey, I like it. I'm a pun guy. So the problem I have is, like, even when I wrestled, right before you're getting ready to go out on the mat, or right before you're ready to go out on the stage, you always have to pee or you always have to poop. Now, you got to make a decision about, you know, if you're 10 minutes out, right? You don't know if this comic's a fucking stage hog or what his deal is, right? or if he's terrified and he's not good and he's going to bail, right? Because you don't want to be on the hopper. But I have actually cut shows short where I just said, all right, listen, I have got to pee, right? So the answer to your question is yes, but yeah, that's like F1 drivers. F1 drivers pee in the car too. I've never done that on stage.
I think you were being nice. You know, one way you were being nice, you weren't. Like, I had never heard of this person nor this incident. Now it's seared in my memory. If I ever run into her someplace, like, hey, I know who you are. But I don't think you should be encouraged this kind of behavior. You said, hey, this was a good. No. You're running a marathon. You're not being paid for it. You know, it's a side thing. It's a hobby. And you go there and you fill I don't want to encourage this behavior. I don't want my grandkids, my kids going, hey, whatever I'm doing right now, I can fill my pants and it'll be okay. I mean, I wouldn't bring back body shaming, because ever as that stop body shaming, I gain weight and I have to see a heart doctor. We got to get back to call it negative behavior. You fill your pants when you're running. You're out.
Tony, because the thing is I think it's a story of perseverance. You know what I
No,
mean?
she did not persevere. She'd have persevered if she had made it all the way and then dropped the load. She goes, man, that's incredible. But
Actually,
she's right in the middle of it.
Right on the finish
Hey,
line,
you
right?
got it,
Just
Tony.
Scott.
You got it. Go.
God, Greg, you guys know this. If we were all playing a pickup football game or we were all bowling, because we're at that age, maybe we could pull off bowling. And one of us just sits there and fills our pants right there in lane 5. We're going, get out of here. What is wrong with you? There's people here.
oh.
Tony, I
Yeah,
smell
clean up
something
on
in your
lane 5.
pants right now, Tony. I smell something in your pants right
No, you know, listen, I go in a bag. We're good.
Hey, let me jump in on you guys, and I'll start with you, Tony, because I've known you the longest. Have you ever had to work a gig on Christmas? You ever had to do a comedy show?
I'm doing a show Christmas Eve out here in the city where I am. We're doing a Zoom show December 23rd. When you first start out, and I'm almost positive because Scott's name I've heard for a long time, and I'm glad to meet Brad. But when you first start out, if you're in LA and they okay you to be at the Melrose Improv or at the Comedy Store, they'll say you could call them when you're available. You'll go 6 months. They'll call. And then what happens is it's Christmas and they call up and go, hey, you got a spot.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
you take it. You take
And
it.
your wife's going, you're working on Christmas. Hey, it's Bud Friedman. And you're down there, there's 3 drunken people going, shut up, you heathen.
Yeah.
That happened to you, Scott, right? I remember seeing your name on.
Listen, when they call, you just go. It's like if somebody invites you to play Bel Air Country Club, you move your damn wedding. I don't care. You know what I mean? You can do it on Sunday.
You're playing single
do it
A.
on
They call
Sunday.
you up to the major leagues. You go right. What family? I got it. No bar mitzvah. No comedy store. I go. Operate. Wait a minute. You know what's really weird? I'm watching the show. Fish, you said you were 61. Boy, man, you look like you're 71. Jesus Christ.
I know.
You makeup. Get her makeup in.
Yeah, well, Tony and I did a few things in the 80s. we were looking at our 50s then, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to know, Brad, that on Christmas Day, you being one of the tribe don't have to worry about working because you're in a Chinese restaurant just filling your face and all you can eat buffet, right?
Of course I am. What are you talking? Christmas doesn't mean anything to me. I'm a Jew. Come on, man. Get me a gig. Get me a fucking gig. Let's go.
Yeah, you're supposed to say happy holidays anyway.
I don't need that. I need work. Jesus. Maybe I can get on the Daly Fish show. Oh, I'm on it. Shit.
By the way, Brad, kudos.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, you were on Curb Your Enthusiasm. That roofing scene, my wife and I were still laughing. When Larry David turned to you and said, take the rest of the day off. That's it. Every time I see you, and I will see you soon, I'm going to say, take the rest of the day off. You were brilliant.
Tony and Scott know this. John knows this. Fish, you know this. When you get an opportunity just to play with the big boys in comedy, face to face, nose to nose with Larry David, you better bring your A game because this maybe not I brought my A game and I'm getting a lot of love from it. It was so much fun. It was crazy. I couldn't believe I was there. I'm like, what am I doing here?
It's one of the greatest shows.
That was hilarious, by the way, Brad. I didn't realize it was you. My wife and I watched it. We fell out of bed. At our age, that's the only way we fall out of bed is watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. So you brought some excitement. You brought some close to romance into my life, Brad.
I love it.
Hey, I got to tell you, you guys were talking about who. Oh, sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, you guys were talking about who Daly looked like. I think you look like Dan Hampton. You remember Dan Hampton, the Chicago Bear?
Oh, yeah.
Chicago Bears.
Sure. Number 99. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I think he looks like a guy who takes depositions.
Like this. They're like that. Just crooked as hell.
He looks like he doesn't look like an athlete. He looks, I kept trying to think, he looked like a guy one time where I had to go and take a polygraph, and you look like a guy who administers polygraphs. And this guy he did the polygraph. He walked in the other room, and he walked about shaking his head going, Tony, is there anything you want to tell me? I go, yeah, your polygraph's broken. He goes, we got to do that. Because, but yes, you look like someone who's asking questions and writing them down in a boardroom. And is that your full, complete answer? You go, that's what you look like.
I don't think you're too
He can't
far
look
off.
that good at his age. He's the guy. Come on, man. We have watch
How old
parties
is he?
with women.
85.
Yeah.
84.
We
You're
have
doing
watch
good.
parties from the movie Valley Girl that's sitting in Sherman Oaks and watching this guy. What about me? Oh, you're a schmuck. But John, we care about John. Matter of fact, take your visual off, Fish, and go black screen and let's just see John. It's very embarrassing for me.
Wait
How
a
much
second.
Taylor really got?
Did you guys find this?
In your life? How much Taylor
Like at this point in life, like someone will go, "You look good for your age," and you go, "What the hell does that mean?" Like people say, I tell people I'm 66. You go, "You look great for." If I looked like this at like 40, they would take me to the hospital.
No, they put you in a box. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Make me going through my closet going, "I always wanted this coat," you know.
Oh my God! Oh, I wanted this shirt from the softball team. Oh man, I'll take that.
Hey, I want to start with Scott on this one. Scott Henry, funny guy, man. Your cruise ship stuff. Give us your favorite Christmas family dinner comedy moment. Everyone's got something, whether it's an aunt or uncle. Do you got one?
Oh my God. One, I was sitting here, you know, it was so funny because I did a little show here at the Opera House in Lexington, Kentucky, and I wanted to do some Christmas stuff. And so I immediately started out with, you know, the difference between the toys these kids get now and what I used to get. And I'm like, my buddy's kid asked him, you know, he wanted an iPad and an Xbox. I'm like, dude, I got a Light Bright and a Slinky, and I was jacked. Right? I was like, light in a box, you know. But the story that I have, we were first of all, most of our Christmas days were spent at my aunt and uncle's bar, Pat and Mike's Bridge Inn up in Menominee, Wisconsin. But one time at Christmas dinner, my nephew, who was probably about 13, I was out on the road quite a bit, and we're having Christmas dinner, and it was nice to be home and everything. We're just having some regular conversation. Of course, my dad would bitch about anything. You know, my mom would make this unbelievable dinner and everything, and he'd sit down and he goes, "Well, I guess we're not having salt and pepper, huh?" You know, and like just be a total a-hole. And my nephew just out of the blue goes, "Uncle Scott, you ever had a threesome?"
What? No.
I swear to you. And then I go, "I am not going to answer that question." And my sister goes, "You are gross. You are disgusting."
You know what you should have said? You said, "Yeah, with Brad." Hey, Brad, the same question. I'm going to go all three of you guys. Brad, you next. Give me just a great family dinner moment around the holidays.
Wait, first I got to say, Tony, you know what Tony looks like? Keeping the football theme. Brian Bosworth, man. You look like the Boz, man.
Yeah.
He looks like the Boz.
I love those Dr. Pepper commercials, Tony. You look good, man. Fan.
Yeah, man. You got run over by Bo Jackson. You're good, man. You're good.
You look good for your age. You look good for your age.
I'm trying to think. Holiday stories. Yeah, my grandma. She was my best friend. She, she'd always complain. You know, whatever we did, anything we did, there was, like the soup was never hot enough. She'd always say, like, "Why are you wearing that hat?" She'd put me down. My grandma was like Don Rickles at the table. She would just slice me up, and I loved it because when you love somebody and they're grilling you, Don Rickles always told me, and I got to meet him and work with him. He said, "If you make fun of somebody, you love them. If you don't say anything, you hate them." Right, guys? I mean, basically, that's what it is. You roast their ass. It's the greatest gift of all and the greatest honor. So
because the hate comes out.
Roast me.
Yeah, the hate comes out when you don't like the person, so you don't want to do it. But the love comes out when you roast somebody, and that's why you want to do it.
Yeah.
You protect it, right?
Don't you guys think, all you guys, I got a question for you. With all this PC stuff, let's just go Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Let's laugh at each other. Let's make fun of each other.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Enough. Hi, good morning. What did you say? Oh, you look good. What? I said, "Good morning, and you look good." Okay, I'm going down to HR. Fuck you.
Yeah, we don't refer to it as morning anymore and it's tough because we talked about this last time. You're on Monday. You go to bed on Monday, and you wake up on Tuesday, and whatever you said on Monday got you fired.
You're done.
Yeah. And it was acceptable on Monday. As a matter of fact, it was lauded and venerated. And you were in books, and they had you on shows. And Tuesday, they go, "You son of you no good. How could you say that?"
That's the truth.
Hey, Tony, before we get to you and your Christmas, I remember when we started at Mom's Saloon, I said, "Tony, man, you're great. You're funny. You should run for city council." And you said, "You kidding?" You said this in 1984. He goes, you don't think 20 years from now they're going to find out that we had a shower we had a shower at Mom's Saloon. Remember that in the office? And
All right.
Down?
We used to bathe with friends.
Hey, let me tell you something, Brad. Before Bo Jackson ran over Tony Visick in 1987, he had a few run over him in the shower. But Tony, give me a great. Now I've been with you for we celebrated a couple of Christmases, thank God, with you and your brother in early age. But give me a funny Christmas story. You had to have something going on.
This I think really embodies the true spirit of Christmas. And as I've gotten older, I've come to really appreciate the true spirit of Christmas. It's the late 90s, early 2000s, and I've just gone through my divorce. So the deal is I have my daughter on Christmas Eve, and my then by now ex-wife has her on Christmas. The deal was I had to have her at my ex-wife's house by midnight Christmas, according to our divorce decree. So Christmas Eve was our Christmas, and it was beautiful yet bittersweet, you know. And then later on that night, she'd fallen asleep. She was 10 by this time. You know, she's grown up too fast. And I'm driving her over to my ex-wife's house, and I have to get gas at an Arco station on Sepulveda near Van Nuys. And there's not a soul out, you know, no one's stirring. She's asleep in the back seat. I'm putting gas in my Honda Civic, and there's a bus bench, and right up from the bus bench is a crack whore. Can I say that? And she's dressed in a Santa outfit. She has on like a mini skirt Santa outfit. Nobody on like Sepulveda and Van Nuys, Sepulveda and Woodman, nobody else, just her and I. And she looks at me, she goes, you want to go? You want to go? You want to go? And I'm looking around, and then I look at her, I go, I don't want to be rude. I go, I have my daughter in the back seat. You know, I don't want to be rude. And she goes, oh, Merry Christmas. And lay back there on the bus bench, and I go, that to me is Christmas. That even someone addicted to crack selling their body could have good manners, like, easy, I don't care, get over here on the bench, you know? To me.
It was Christmas. She might have been giving it.
Man, I never thought of that. See, I didn't. Plus, I'm a little cheap. You know, I don't want to spend money on that sort of thing. So I better sit around and talk with someone for 8 hours, and then finally they go, okay. But this was, you know,
Tony,
that's for me.
How long have you been living with her, Tony? I know she moved in next
week. She's downstairs now. She's, you know, she runs a little animal clinic out here. You know, we actually have a horse farm. She's the one that gets all the.
Well, we have a pic of the girl. This was sorry.
That's you stood up at 82 at 2 o'clock in the morning up in Brentwood. I go, it's Brentwood, Eric. You can find an attractive person, but you didn't.
Fish, that was a bomb right there. That was
genius.
Yeah, that just exploded. That was an atom bomb right there. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, I still stuck with the profession. John's done it. Tony, I don't know about Brad and Scott, but I still bartend, and during the holiday season, it's depressing. Mm-hmm. I have to work Christmas, and you get people in there, you know, hi, how you doing? Welcome to Shots. Can I help you? Fuck off. My mother's a whore, you know, and you know, and that's what you get. And it's not. So I started thinking, and my wife said, ask these guys, ask Tony, Brad, and Scott, if they were therapists during the Christmas season as comics, what therapy would you give someone who's so downtrodden on their life? What therapy would you give? And I'm going to start with you, Brad.
I would say I was a Lyft driver for 5.5 years, and I was a therapist for so many people in my backseat. I would say it could be a lot worse, because you know what? Your health is your wealth. If you're healthy in the back of my seat, in the back of my car, man, you're doing all right. We can work on those other things. Your health is your wealth. Count your blessings and shut the fuck up. You know, Merry fucking Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Get the fuck out of my car and let's do this.
Brad, did you take payments with food, or was it strictly cash?
Food, man. Food. I took food, and I took blowjobs from that girl Tony met on. Well, look at
her face. Look at that mouth. Look at that mouth.
She
wow.
looks much better now. She has no teeth.
Wait a minute, Brad. If you took BJ's, was it from this person?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my best friend. He's my best friend.
Right.
Yeah. He's my.
That's
my
go-to.
What kind of advice, Scott? What kind of advice would you give?
Well, the first thing I'd ask him is, do you have health insurance? Because this shit isn't free.
I love it.
Okay. The other thing is, you know what, man? I would honestly ask him, I go, all right, where did the problem start? And then I would continue to keep that clock running in that Uber, you know what I mean? And really milk him out of the dough, you know what I mean? And really shock him that way you're going to get him to pay.
To the cleaners, exactly.
You know what? No, to tell you the truth, I like the advice that, you know, right? It's good advice because I see people like work with comics and we have our issues for sure. And it's always like you have to find the bright. When I'm down, I just sit there and write down on a piece of paper. Plus, I have bipolar too, so I got to fight that sometimes. I just write down on a piece of paper all the things I have that I love. You know what I mean? And that's what I would tell them. Go home and count, not just count them, but write them down so you can see them. It's like writing goals down as opposed to thinking of them throughout the day. And I think that's something that can really help people right there. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. No, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Scott, that's great advice. Scott, where would you rank this being on this show today? Where would that be ranked?
Right now, pretty good. Tomorrow I'll wake up with a hangover and I won't know what happened. And I'll probably be a little sore in my 2-hole.
Why don't we make this, why don't we, for the holidays, or let's come on this show all the time. The three of us, man, we should go on the road together. You know, come on, you know, I mean, what is it? What did all those guys go on the road? What's his name? You know, all the hit comics, man, we should go. The three of us, the 5 of us should go.
Yeah,
let's the cable guy.
Brad,
Tony, what kind of
the cable guy.
What?
And Foxworthy, yeah.
What advice is therapy? Well, you know, look, I've been to therapy quite. I had a therapist quit once. They go, "You're depressing," and I'm not kidding. So it was like a nice upper middle class kid who graduated UCLA, and I'm talking about my life. Look, the guy had it coming. He didn't pay, and I go, people actually go, "Yeah, he was wrong. I know it was wrong," but I would just, the advice I give, look, I was raised poorly. So all my life, all my, you know, things that I've learned to come from the movies. And if someone's in my bar crying, I slap him across the face and go, "You can be a man. Be a man. Oh, God, Father." I would go Marlon Brando on him at 72. I'd say, "Why don't you get yourself down to a ranch down there and shoot some horses for a while, smell some cow poop, and then tell me how bad you got it there in your apartment. You didn't get a part on the Larry the Cable the Guy special, you son of a bitch."
You know, you could probably do a bunch of impressions and you would cheer people up. I really do. I do that all the time anyway. The other comic I was working with last week, he goes, after day 4, I'm just going to come out and say it. Let's go get coffee and don't fucking talk to anybody, okay? Don't make anybody laugh. Don't ask them where they're from. You know, just let it go, dude. Let me get my coffee, okay? I don't need to know who these people are.
I just learned something. Brian Bosworth can fucking act. Jesus Christ. Boz can act. Jeez.
He's not
Get
bad.
out there, get some buffalo, wrestle a buffalo for a while to come back and tell me about all your problems with your mother, you dumb. Boy, you need to get out the city. Get out here. Listen, I live outside of Phoenix. I built this house 15 years ago. And this week I'm actually buying land further out because I moved, you know, from Los Angeles to be in a small town, guy where I can always fly out. And now my wife and I I'm getting 2 acres in Eloy, and it's got water and electric hooked up already. I'm gonna put myself a house down there. I think we need more. I like the entire pandemic. I didn't like that people died. I'm 65, and they go, "Well, you can't go anywhere." I go, "I don't go anywhere now. I don't want to go anywhere." So at a certain point, nobody comes over anymore. You go, "Oh, we go over, listen to him, try to get out of his chair." So, you know, why embarrass yourself? Go someplace where no one can even get to you. That's what I say.
You know what? Can I tell a story that I'll you guys mind, or do you guys want to move on? Daly, do
No,
it.
go for it. I want to hear a story.
We used to take these trips, all right, because my parents are from Iron Mountain, Michigan, which is in the UP, and I grew up in Milwaukee. So on Christmas Eve, we'd celebrate Christmas, and then we go up on Christmas Day. But we used to drive everywhere, okay? And one time we took this trip in 69 Bonneville, right? And we drove all the way out to the Badlands. And this was right around the holidays. My dad decided, we're going to go take a trip, you know? And so we drive all the way out there. And, you know, I didn't know. I was 5 years old. So when we'd leave restaurants, I was like, look at all this money people are leaving on the table. What in the fuck is happening here? What is happening? Are these people idiots? So I'm just like raking this shit in, dude. I'm like just a vet. I look like I own one of those car washes where you put quarters in it, right? So we get to the Badlands and we're turned around and I see this Chief Crazy Horse, right, doll that I want. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but
no one's watching.
So I get this doll in my hand. I go, Mom, can I have this? And she goes, if you got the money, right? So I pull all this money out of my pocket and she's like, where the hell did you get that money? And I said, I took it off the tables at all the restaurants, right? And she's like, holy shit, we're going to get arrested right there. And I was like, yeah, you know, in my head, I'm like, they're going to put out an APB on the fucking white Bonneville where the kid's stealing the tips off the table. And that was one of those moments in my life where oh God, it was one of my favorite stories ever. And my feet would get so hot because I'd be in the middle. I had two sisters and my feet would be on that hump where the drive shaft was. And my tennis shoes would get like that fucking butter when you put the roll of corn on the cob on there and it would just have that dip in there.
Scott,
oh, God.
Scott, did you change your name after you played Skippy on Family Ties? You were unbelievable. Oh my God, you were fantastic. Mark Price, there he is.
Mark's still around. Mark calls me all the time. Mark calls me all the time and goes, bring me to Phoenix. Bring me to Phoenix. I go, how much? He tells me, I go, oh, you're not coming to Phoenix, Mark. I put together a show. He's putting together game shows with him and Urkel. He goes, we'll bring a game show with me and Urkel and the kid who never grew up on George Lopez's show. And I go, how much? He'll tell me, I go, yeah, you're not coming to Phoenix, Mark.
You're not coming.
You know what? I usually get Chris Cooper. And I'm, that's what. And I used to get
Chris
Dustin
Cooper.
Hoffman.
I like Skippy better.
Scott, you used to work all the John Yoder stuff up in Michigan in the 80s and 90s, right?
John. Oh my gosh, yeah, Yoder.
Yeah, see, that's
like
what
7 hours for $40.
I remember. I see his name all the time. We may have met, but I'm going because when I first started, I would go and. Let's be honest. Even after I've been doing it for a long time, I go, I wonder what's doing with Yoder. And that's where I knew you from. When you mentioned Michigan, I go, I know this guy from. I call it Yoderville. You weren't in Michigan.
Absolutely.
You weren't in Indiana. There was Tribble Land. There was Yoderville.
Sober.
How about the comedy cabaret in Encino? Ray Bishop. You guys there?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I know. First time I ever saw Carlos Mencia was at Ray Bishop's. I walked in, they go, this kid won't get off stage. And like Carlos is a friend of mine, and I'll take Carlos over Rogan any day of the week. But I don't, what? I've got a lot of opinions that have caused me to live far out in the desert. But and I watched Carlos and I go, this kid's not getting off stage. And I went home. And I actually went home. I called the club. I go, is he still on there? And he went, yeah, he's still up there.
You went in your car.
I drove all the way home to my I had a townhouse in the valley. I drove all the way back.
Are you Croatian? Are you Croatian?
Yeah.
So am I. All right. My mom used to smoke. My dad used to call her Smokovich.
My mom smoked Pall Malls, no filter.
Oh.
And she would send me to, when we lived in the city, I was a little kid, we lived in the city, send me to confectionery on a corner. To go over there, and I go in there to the Cutmeyer confectionery. They go, oh, you like your mom's cigarettes? I go, yeah. They give me their cigarettes. And then they send me over to John's Tavern with a bucket for beer. I was 7. You can do this. Get a bucket of beer. You're sucking the foam off of it. Go, this is really good, Smoking one of mom's cigarettes. That's a Eastern European upbringing right there. Inner city, 60s.
Yep. Before we wrap this up, guys.
Listen, you two guys are good. Take a break.
Wait, hang on. The only thing that Brad and I are concerned about with our backgrounds is that Scott steals tips. And if we were the waiters in that restaurant,
Oh,
we're going
my
after you,
goodness.
buddy. You know,
Oh,
what?
Scott's
God damn it!
not gonna
Hey,
feel
there was a $20 tip on the
Scott,
table. What the hell happened to it?
be honest though. Your mom either took you didn't take the money back. Your mom took it, put it in her purse, and later on, you were buying stuff with that.
Oh, dude, I was acting like a pimp. I'm like, here you go. You know, okay, take 2 of these, take 2 of those. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell
Well, you got the money now, but don't do it anymore.
Just sick, okay?
I think I remember Scott in between cars on La Brea with a piece of cardboard looking at fucking money.
Yeah. I used to say
Fuck,
this.
I gave him $20. His mom was laughing behind fucking CVS. Fuck.
And I watched your window, you prick.
I wanted to talk to Brad about Jeff Garland. We don't have time for this. I think it's a crime what happened to the guy, but I guess we don't have time for that.
No, we should.
Right now.
We should, but
I'm taking his place on Goldberg's and Curb. No, I'm kidding.
Perfect.
He gave me a career. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff, I'll see you in human resources. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Poor guy. 3 times in human resources. I think you stopped doing what you're doing. No, Scott.
Hopefully,
Tony, Daly, Fish.
You know, what I like about Brad is he had a slow start, but he's picking it up at the end. Good on you. Good on you.
Coming on strong. We just hope that when we get you on next time, neither of you guys will be indicted. So that'll be really good.
I can handle that. Ask Eric. I can handle that indictment all day.
Come on. I got a good lawyer. Yeah, I got a good lawyer. Don't worry.
I beat every rap.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't
folks.
worry.
Hey, we've been
My
talking to
Uncle
stand-up
Harvey
comics
Weinstein.
Brad
He can help
Grunberg,
me.
Scott Henry, and Tony Visick. Hey guys, thank you so much for ringing in Christmas for us. We got to find another
Tony
holiday.
Weinstein
You
is
guys should
Scott.
be
You
here for
guys are great.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
For Valentine's
That's
Day.
it.
How about
Do
that?
it every
That's it. You got
holiday.
it.
Let's do New Year's.
We'll bring you in
Let's
for
do it on New
Valentine's
Year's.
Day.
Yeah. Let's do New Year's. The new show, TBS. And Fish, Daly, will send you the link. You guys will watch us.
We definitely will.
We love you guys. Thanks for having us on.
All right. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. You guys are great. Appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
You brought a lot of laughs. I'll send you all some of them. I got 500 comments here. They love all of you. You know,
I'm uncomfortable with that.
I'm not sure what your definition of love is, but maybe it's a little fucking off.
I'm gonna be jerking off to Tony's wife falling out of bed and jerking off to Scott as Skippy. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. Guys, you guys are so fucking funny. Only the best, guys. Good health.
You guys
Good time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys.
All
Love
right.
you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, coming up, Fish and I are going to wrap things up, give you a sneak peek at next week's show that is also a gem. It's going to be a New Year's show. It's something you can drink to as well. All right, need a great golf getaway? The Myrtle Beach Golf Trail has dozens of courses along the Carolina coast. Set up an entire trip for yourself, your family, or just a bunch of friends. The site is myrtlebeachgolftrail.com. Play there year round.
Sorry.
All right, so we've got it. Let me get this in before we talk about that. We've got another great special next week. It is our Hall of Fame bartender show. And Fish, this will be hilarious too, because we're going to hear some great stories about what happened in the bar with some Hall of Fame bartenders.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, we have guys that have bartended over 40 years. You might be looking at one right now, and it's going to be Tony. Tony bartended for years. I met Tony bartending, and that probably has a lot of material from that craft. But it's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to talk about what the craft is. And again, real quick, if you went on a date with a girl in your life or a guy or whatever you went on a date with, there's a chance on the first 2 dates you went to a restaurant or a bar, you know, and one of us in this craft served you.
I agree. Well, looking forward to it. Remember, Daly Fish is live from Las Vegas and Myrtle Beach. Catch us on Facebook, on the Myrtle Beach Golf Channel and Myrtle Beach Grand Strand Vacation, as well as YouTube and daily.fish.5. We're also on DBNA Television on Roku and Amazon Fire. You can write to us at dailyfish1@gmail.com. I got to tell you that we've had a ton of fun shows. That was up there with the most fun. That's for sure.
It sure was, man. And we want to bring Christmas cheer to people. Not everyone's having the greatest times during the holidays with the virus, people out of work and depression. These 3 guys I mean, I've never been around Visick one time where I wasn't laughing. This is before he became a comic. He made me laugh behind the bar where I just couldn't pour a drink. And, you know, it's good to see these guys doing so well. So we'll say goodbye. And with this, we'll say goodbye. Tony's wife, bring us out. Go ahead, John.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, folks, Merry Christmas to everybody. Fish, I'll see you next week. Love you, brother.
You too, buddy.